What happens when a 130-year-old Victorian landmark gets a £1.3 billion transformation? That's right, one of the city's most iconic spaces is transforming into a brand new cultural and public destination. The goal is to create one of the most beautiful venues London has ever seen. But right now, it's looking more like a construction fortress than a grand hall. So, what exactly are they building? And how is it going to look in the end? Let's find out. Before we have a butcher's at the grand makeover of Olympia, be sure to subscribe to Design Zip for more great videos from us. One of the most interesting things about this exhibition centre is that it is 138 years old. So, before we show you its new look, let's look into the rich history of the Olympia Exhibition Centre. You see, back in 1886, London was filled with innovation and grand ideas, and smack in the middle of it all came Olympia. But before we even get to the big opening, let's talk about how it all started. Olympia was not originally called that. It was dreamt up as the National Agricultural Hall. Yes, you heard that right. The vision was to create a massive space for agricultural shows. Initially, the plan was to hold livestock competitions here, display farming tools, and, of course, host a crowd fascinated by all things rural. Why? Because agriculture was a pretty big deal back then. The man behind this ambitious project was Edwin Sherard Burnaby. A Member of Parliament, Burnaby had a soft spot for grandeur. He imagined a hall bigger and better than anything England had seen, just like the Royal Agricultural Hall in Islington, but even bigger than that. And so, the site for Olympia was chosen. It was a former market garden in West Kensington, which was super convenient. This place was right next to Addison Road Station, which means it was easily accessible by rail. Construction started with bold plans. The Grand Hall was completed in 1885, and it was unlike anything Londoners had seen. It was massive, with a roof made of iron and glass. To give you an idea of how impressive it was, the Grand Hall alone was the largest roof space in England when it opened. But the building was not just a pretty face. It was designed for all kinds of events. While the initial idea was agricultural shows, it quickly became clear this space could host way more. The place hosted sporting events, military tournaments, and even entertainment events and exhibitions. By the time it opened, it was branded as Olympia, and rightfully so. Now, let's fast forward a bit. Olympia kept growing. The Pillar Hall, which was a smaller but equally elegant addition, was completed alongside the Grand Hall. By 1923, the National Hall was added to the dimensions, and in 1930, the Empire Hall joined the family. Each of these spaces had its own charm and purpose, and together they made Olympia an incredible place for exhibitions and events. One of the best things about the Grand Hall was that its roof was not just any roof. It was crafted by Handyside of Derby, one of the top ironworks of the era. The attention to detail in its construction is why it's still standing strong today. Over the decades, Olympia evolved with the times. From hosting agricultural shows to becoming a venue for trade exhibitions and public events, it always found a way to stay relevant. And let's not forget the Victorian charm. It is one of the few places where you can truly feel the grandeur of 19th century London. But this does not mean there were no problems or no room for improvement. Sure, it is an iconic place with all its Victorian charm and historical significance, but let's be honest, by the 21st century, it was starting to feel outdated. First off, accessibility was a bit of a nightmare. For such a huge venue, you would expect people to be able to get in and out easily, right? But this was not the case. The layout had become a maze over the years, thanks to various add-ons that didn't quite mesh together. It was like a fortress, not in a cool, mysterious way, but in a way that visitors were always left thinking, where is the entrance again? This place was not exactly welcoming. Then there was the space itself. While Olympia was great at hosting events, that's pretty much all it did. And in today's world, people expect more. Venues are not just about exhibitions anymore, they are about experiences. Visitors want places where they can hang out, grab a drink, maybe catch a show, or even stay overnight. Olympia was not delivering on that front. It was a one-trick pony, and the trick was getting old. And then came the competition. London has no shortage of flashy, modern venues popping up all over the place. While Olympia was busy holding on to its history, other venues were emerging with pretty designs and multifunctional spaces. The pressure was on. Lastly, the surrounding community was not exactly reaping the benefits of having such a major landmark in their neighbourhood. Olympia was more like a guest who stayed in their bubble, rather than a neighbour who brought everyone together. That needed to change. So, the owners of Olympia took a hard look at what was working and what wasn't and decided it was time for a major overhaul. In May 2021, the Revamp officially began. The goal was to transform this historic venue into a modern, multifunctional hub that could meet the demands of today while honouring its past. It was ambitious, absolutely, but it was also super necessary. Now, let's see what the finished Olympia Exhibition Centre will look like. The revamp is massive already. The estimated cost is around £1.3 billion, and when it's all done, this iconic West London site will be unrecognisable in the best way possible. Heatherwick Studio and Spark were the chosen architects, and they have reimagined Olympia as a cultural and business hub for London. The plans include creating a new elevated public realm, complete with rooftop gardens, bars and restaurants. Yes, you will soon be able to sip a cocktail while enjoying stunning city views from the roof of a building that has been standing since 1886. But it's not just about the rooftop experience. They are also adding 2 state-of-the-art hotels. There's going to be a 204-room Hyatt Regency and a 146-room Citizen M, each with its own unique vibe. For music lovers, there's a new 4,000-seat live music venue run by AEG Presents. And if that's not enough, a 1,575-seat theatre by Trafalgar Entertainment is also in the works, making this site one of London's top destinations for entertainment. Now, what's new inside? The existing exhibition halls, like the Grade 2 listed Grand Hall, are being lovingly restored to their former glory, complete with modern touches to keep them functional and fabulous. But alongside these historic spaces, they are adding a brand new conference centre. This facility will feature an 850-seat auditorium, breakout rooms, and beautiful reception areas, making it perfect for everything from business conferences to award ceremonies. If you need more, there's also going to be over 51,000 square metres of office space. These high-rise office buildings will feature outdoor terraces stretching 100 metres long, providing workers with some of the best views in the city. In short, they're blending business and leisure in a way that has never been done before at Olympia. One of the most incredible features will be the pleated glass canopies, designed to resemble the original Victorian arches. These canopies will provide shelter while adding a contemporary edge to the historic architecture. They are also pedestrianising Olympia Way, turning it into an outdoor space for events, performances, and brand activations. Not just that, over 30 new bars and restaurants are being added, so you'll never be short of places to eat, drink, and socialise. From quick bites to fine dining, the options are expected to cater to all tastes. Plus, there is a boutique gym, rehearsal spaces, cinemas, and even a performing arts school. So, in a way, this place is going to be an ecosystem of entertainment, culture, and community. Construction officially started in May 2021. Since then, progress has been steady, with different elements of the project being phased in over time. The new Olympia is expected to fully open by late 2025 or early 2026, but some spaces like the live music venue and public rooftop areas might open earlier. The best thing is that the developers are also thinking long-term. The site is being designed to adapt to future needs, with world-class digitalization and connectivity. They are even considering an Olympia-wide app to help visitors navigate everything from booking show tickets to reserving hotel rooms. They want to mix heritage with innovation in the best way possible. When it is all said and done, Olympia will be more than just an exhibition centre. It will be a destination. The goal is to draw 12 million visitors annually, and with all these new features, it is hard to imagine it won't. Londoners and tourists alike will have a new cultural hotspot to explore, one that honours its past while embracing the future. Do you think it's important we renovate more historical buildings, or should we innovate and build more modern structures? Would you like to visit the revamped Olympia Exhibition Centre on your next trip to London? Tell us in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, show me some love by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.